Welcome back, everybody. Rivington and Joshi here to bring you Game 4 and even Game 5 as we go through all of Thursday's Academy Showcase games. And they're getting better and better, each one better than the last. And it's going to be amazing by the time. My head is almost exploding. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, by the time Cloud9 Evil Geniuses rolls around, it's going to be like the most amazing League of Legends you've ever seen. This is like World Finals caliber of games coming out right.
So both of these teams are now tied at 4th place. We're looking at the middle of the pack on this one. So a 2-0 for either of these teams earns you a bye. Those are the weeks that you really would love to have, and they've been hard to get for Academy teams. We're seeing a lot of 0-1s or 1-0s in these weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you really have a big opportunity here for both of these teams. They can overtake Evil Geniuses, they can potentially tie Dignitas and get some of those tiebreakers for the postseason games, but both of them just have to start right here. They got to win this game because they need to make sure that they have opportunities to move forward and just continue playing. They've already locked their spots, so they are just looking to jockey for the seeding, and I think both these teams are looking pretty good so far this split.
Absolutely, and we focus on, the jungle for coming in here on contracts to perform ideally on his Lee Sin or Graves. I think I always remember contracts from Graves when Reaper made him pull it out at Worlds, and I was like, Graves at Worlds, okay, this is going to be great.
Ooh.
You could always do it.
And it was great.
It was
one
great,
of those things
actually.
that you just tend to see over and over again. It's an exciting champion always to bring out. And I mean, it's been making waves in solo lanes as well. I haven't seen it yet on the big stage as far as I am aware, but definitely something that I'm sure a lot of these players are starting to at least toy with, see if it's something that they want to bring out and really have an opportunity to take down their opponents. But we get into picks and bans, and there's a fair amount of shared champion pools between these players in particular. You got a big overlap of Aatrox in the top lane. We saw our first Aatrox of the day being played by Jenkins. Both teams like to play the Lee Sin. Both of them like to play Aphelios. Both of them play Braum and Nautilus. So it makes the draft a little bit weird when you're kind of like, hey, we're banning out ourselves.
Yeah, it does. You do feel that when you either look at a team and say you're banning that and you play it, or you're banning that because you don't play it, and it's almost like a lost ban. But you have to figure where their priorities lie and what they actually want to see on the Rift here and what they know for week 9. One more ban, it's going to be Yuumi. Go figure on the other side for 100 Thieves. They don't want to see that support.
Now, I feel like this is probably going to be an Aphelios or a set, and it looks like they're going to be prioritizing the Aphelios for now. Give that over to Lost, because it is one of the things that is, again, shared between these two players. Both Lost and Prismo like to play it, but that just means that now Set is going to be going over to 100 Thieves, and the question is being asked, what is Dokla going to end up playing into it?
MF being pulled out, so good power in the bot lane from both sides. We'll see if that top lane actually gets an answer. You'd expect it to, so it doesn't get banned out, and they can show right away. You don't have the Ornn there. The Gangplank is up. Dokla going back through some plays. Has that Gangplank quite a few times with Bled. Ornn is banned out, and the set is picked. Aatrox is always something that we know Dokla can go back to as well. See what they decide here with 2. Or Renekton gets locked, so unless they do show top, it's kind of a swapper.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting pick. You have some really big outplay moments for Renekton up against the set, simply because you have that second dash and you can try and dodge away from the Haymaker. But it is something that Fake God can wait out, make sure that there's no mobility left on Renekton, and then it's a fairly easy ability to hit at that point. But the Braum is getting locked in, and as you mentioned, it is something that Evolve can always play and bring to the other side of the map. But lots of lockdown, lots of physical damage already on the table so far for 100 Thieves as we move into the second phase of bans.
Yeah, that looks great to be around an MF that wants to stand still. And we will see what the second phase shows us. A top laner could get hit, but do 100 Thieves take that bet that they may not be going against a Renekton? Evolved has only mages in his lineup through the season. But like you mentioned, you could easily play the Renekton mid lane. Probably one of the easier ones to play if we're even going to play a unique champion. Not really too much to him, and he heals a lot if you can get over 50% of that rage bar up. And we'll see what they have here. At least gets banned out, so a bit of jungler focus, as we don't really see them on either team right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of expecting to see a little bit more. The Sylas is a little bit surprising. Not something that we've been seeing quite as much, but does have a ton of healing. And just as with something like the Olaf or the Set that we've seen previously, can really win these longer drawn out fights. And It's just something that a lot of people still have in their back pockets because of how powerful this champion has been for so long. And the Olaf also getting picked up, banned away. So Spico will not have an opportunity to do that, but both of them still have their Lee Sin on the table, as well as their Rek'Sai and the Jarvan, and frankly, all of these junglers are still available, so lots of big power picks are around. A lot of the kind of second tier, slightly more niche junglers are getting pushed away.
Might see a Jarvan popping in here now. And there's a Jarvan popping in there now.
Wow.
Get locked in for
Crazy
contracts. Still have the Lee up, still a big pick. We saw that getting banned out last game as well, as they just really went down the line on junglers. So they showed the Jarvan, maybe trying to put a little inkling in the head of TSM to say, you should pick this. Or maybe we'll pick it, you never know. Team's always trying to show things.
I mean, looking at what 100 Thieves have already drafted, Jarvan would make a lot of sense. You got the ball delivery for Saligo's Orianna. You're locking everybody down for Prismo's bullet time. And now TSM potentially taking the bait or just preempting what 100 Thieves wants to do is going to be locking in for themselves. And we've seen plenty of big opportunities for the Aphelios ultimate to just blow through a bunch of people who are locked on top of each other. And it's just strong to make sure that all of your AoE is going to hit. The Syndra is locked in for Evolve, and this has been one of his power picks for as long as I've seen this guy.
Yeah, wow. Syndra and Zoe LeBlanc. What a mid lane left up for this game. We'll see what they can get their pick of, as we have Orianna for Saligo already and Treats on the Syndra. Those should stay where they are. We've seen a Syndra bot like once in a blue moon. But here we have Breezy selecting. We'll see what he locks in. It should be that jungle.
Oh.
Gangplank. Okay, so Seth jungle.
Interesting. Not something we've been seeing all that much overall. And the Gangplank does do decently well into Renekton simply because as soon as he walks in with a very telegraphed stun, you just wait, hit orders, and everything's okay.
Yeah.
So he's going to be relying a little bit more on bringing Jarvan up to actually lock down the Gangplank in order to try and find these kills. And I'm a little bit surprised that they are opting to stay with double teleport on both sides of the map. Dokla on the Renekton is definitely a player and a character that you might expect to see the Ignite getting picked up, simply because it gives you so much more kill pressure. But instead, double teleport going to be using the global map pressure as well as the movement speed boost every single time you teleport into lane. Potentially have an opportunity to run down your opponent.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into another one. We still have 2 left on the day. Like we said, they're getting closer and closer to the top of the standings, or this one pitting the middle of the standings, as both of these teams are tied at 9 and 7. TSM and 100 Thieves about to go live. We are going to take that 5-minute break for competitive integrity to preserve that, and we'll be right back here after the break to cast the game live for you. It's going to be Joshi and Riv. Don't go anywhere. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Joshi and Riv here. We are about to get into the game in just a little bit. The 5-minute delay, always for competitive integrity, so we can keep that at tip-top shape and the players can be just playing their hearts out and not have to worry about anything. We are heading into game 4 of the day. It is going to be TSM versus 100 Thieves, and we do see a pretty sweet combo. The set in the jungle coming in now from 100 Thieves, so Contracts is going to try to take that into his hands with the Orianna delivery in mid. It could be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Contracts is able to do with this champion. We've always known him as a strong carry player throughout his tenure across so many different teams at this point. And
Have to see.
I mean, paired with players like Fake God, like that is a scary two-man squad. Like Dokla and Spica are going to have a lot of potential issues going up against these two champions as they try and just fight to stay relevant throughout it. So it's going to be very difficult for them to try and maintain a hold on the top half of the map, but I'm kind of looking for them to have a little bit more success on the bottom half of the map where they will have a lot more opportunities to just to actually just kind of play the game because they're not playing up against two early game bruiser champions.
Absolutely. And looking at when 100 Thieves actually played a similar composition, I'd say similar, it's the middle in the jungle. But Soligo again on Orianna, set 5-4-10. That Orianna was 9-2-8, was Cloud9 in week 3 when 100 Thieves took down Cloud9, which, as I look, is the top team in the league right now. I didn't have to look, but I wanted to. But
you got to reassure yourself.
Yeah, exactly. They're just going back to what feels great. So I can't wait to see how they do actually go up against this team of TSM, who has a few bruises of their own, as you were saying.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me that Contracts often go with the phase rush. We've been seeing this a little bit more simply because Set really thrives when he's able to dance in and around his opponents. So we'll see what kind of build he's going for. Now, it's generally considered good to go Blade of the Ruin King and Black Cleaver on this champion. We've seen a couple people still picking up the Trinity Force here and there, but by and large, you're just trying to get a lot of percentage health damage going, as well as having the extra mobility that these items provide. So I'm expecting to see something fairly similar coming out this time. But Contracts, I feel like he's going to have a very easy time going up against Spica, because like Spica has like the one, you know, it's 2 buttons, but it is effectively 1 button that you can press, and then Contracts just punches him and keeps punching him.
Yeah, especially if you miss that knockup. You're in there forever to get punched, and you usually don't want to alt Set, because Set can either alt you out or he'll just fight you in there. That's exactly what he wants. It's like, imagine if Set had a passive. If he was ever in a circular area, he gains more strength. Like, just it's like called environment awareness or something.
Yeah,
Put me in a
that's
cage,
definitely
I get stronger.
a big Rorschach moment. I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me. And I mean, Contracts and this definitely a good pairing in order to try and get some kind of passive like that going. But we see both junglers starting on the bottom half of the map, and Spica going for a very quick buff to buff, it looks like, whereas Contracts is a little bit more satisfied just going for a full clear, so he will have a little bit more gold and have a little bit more predictable route later on in the game. But Fake God and Dokla, they're just trading back and forth. I'm a little bit surprised at how willing both these guys are to just fight.
I like it. Obviously, Dokla can get some charge up. He already has that Q back up, so he's going to get a good heal off if he can get that Call of the Meek onto Fake God. But oranges, biscuits, corrupting pots. Oh my word, they are just crushing it right now. Back and forth. The barrel goes down, and Dokla, he's going to go ahead and swap back to make sure he doesn't catch that true damage too early.
Yeah, it's definitely a big thing you're going to be paying attention to is where Fake God puts down his barrels. Renekton can actually one-shot them if he wants to choose to throw down the actual stun on the barrels, but it is fairly difficult for them to actually... I mean, it's just costly, right? You're using up a lot of resources. You're not stunning your opponent. You're not getting the extra Conqueror stacks all at once, and now we see Contracts and Spica both making their way up to the top half of the map.
Well, Dokla bite, though. Breezy gets himself back, so it's going to be a quick pause in this one. We'll just have to delay for a moment as the teams get themselves situated and correcting the issues on their side. Especially in aggressive moments, usually there's the wait there, but the teams wanting to get that corrected. And we obviously will get back into game shortly. But already, loving what we're seeing in the top side. Fake God and Dokla going at it back and forth. The bot lane already getting a little bit messy. I think the middle pack... I thought it was going to be a little bit more tempered in their engage, right? You almost play with the not to lose mentality, but they are playing with the we need to win, and that's what we wanted to see.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see what kinds of pressure can get to people, right? Because it's definitely, you know, with CLG, they had no pressure on them. They can have a little bit more fun. So in the past, I mean, if you go back a long time, you see TSM pulling out silly picks like the Teemo because it's like, hey, we're out. We just want to have some fun. We're going to get some good viewers on stage. But then you get other teams that are like, all right, now we can try these riskier compositions. We're going to go hard because if we fail, there's no consequences to it whatsoever. And this is definitely a couple of teams that now that they're locked in, they're looking to have a lot of fun, get some big plays, and hopefully get some highlight reels. Because again, as these academy teams are going, they're looking for opportunities to prove themselves, get some fans for themselves, and impress a lot of coaches.
That's absolutely, especially a lot of these guys kind of finding themselves from scouting grounds. Evolved being that #1 pick finds himself on TSM, and you know a lot of the other ones too. I mean, I have to digress or go back a second. You mentioned Teemo, and every time somebody mentions Teemo when we're casting, I always think of High and what he did to TSM with Teemo, and then Haunter picked it a little ways down the line in the LCS again. There hasn't been too many Teemos, but to actually get Teemos has been pretty fun in the LCS. But yeah, that's the super fun moment, as you're saying.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, right? There's when Reggie played Teemo, and then there's when High played Teemo. It's just two different champions almost entirely. But Fake God and Dokla going back, and it looks like, did we reverse in time? It looks like we did go back a little bit, or Contract is either coming up once again. So it'll be a big opportunity for both these teams to potentially show what they want to do. Both of them have some big bruisers to potentially go for a fight. Go back to the bottom lane as well.
Gets himself the safety. There's the kill on the Fake God. The flag and drag connects there, and they might have enough for Contracts now. Contracts actually gets himself a double buff. Or has a double buff, I should say, but he's going to get out of that one with a live. I thought he was going to trade it over to Dokla. Double buffs is not what you want to see on one team this early in the game. Soligo takes an electrocute there. Low mana evolved, but they're really not going to be able to trade back and forth. Those orbs or spheres that Evolve throws out are not that mana heavy, so he can keep doing it.
Yeah, I just want to point out something that Evolve did there that is part of why this guy has been right on the brink of making it into Academy to LCS for so long. He saw Soligo use the shield on himself, and he held the W. He waited for the shield to disappear before throwing it out, and that's just the kind of patience you need in order to really cement yourself as one of the best. But going back to the top lane, stun locking someone, it's a tale as old as time, and it does get a first kill over to Dokla, who now with the Vampiric Scepter, likely going to be going over to the Blade of the Ruin King Black Cleaver build, which again has been starting to make the rounds ever since we saw the top lane item rework. It's Evolved barely missing out on the stun.
Yeah, for sure. And Blade of the Ruin King feels really nice too. It's a nice active completion. Allows you to kind of 1v1 more in the lane, so everybody is basically like, yes, I will build one. It's fine. You see a quick clear here, as it looks like Fake God actually wants to get himself a back, or at least just plow this minion wave into Dokla's turret, so he can't farm it as easy. A good hook here by Breezy. He gets the Dredge line out. Both shields are on. His Treat's taking quite a bit more damage, significantly more, actually. Those 100 Thieves are coming up with the trade wins.
Yeah, all the little bit of extra damage from the minions adding up as it looks like they're fighting exhausted out.
While Treats throws himself into the fire. Look how far he's gotten with now 150 HP, and he baits Prismal even more into the fight. It looked like he was not going to be able to do anything, but if you think about it, Make It Rain was just used, her W reset was just used, so jumping in wasn't that dangerous.
Yeah, it's impressive. Once again, another crowd control lock. You see it go out, and FakeGod and Dokla still tussling. He's holding on to his stun for a long time. There he goes. He kills the first one. He's got a lot of rage. Whoa! One more flash. Ooh, not quite there. Just going to be able to get himself out. Dokla showing a lot of power in this lane. The extra HP from the Vampiric Scepter helping, and look at that. He's basically back to full HP again.
Also, to not flash and try and go for that, just knowing you win lane, but also not quickly thinking, am I in range, am I out of range? He knew he was out of range. Just really soundly played and has such an advantage now, as we're going to have to see what FakeGod comes back with. It doesn't look like he will be able to teleport back. That's a long walk all the way back to lane. And now Dokla can even realize that and start to proxy the wave a little bit.
Yeah, it's tough at this point. Level 6 Dokla going under the turret.
That's Dominus on, too. Looks like camera won't give us the fight because it knows the fight won't continue. As Speaker here hitting it up and it going back towards that mid lane. Directed's just too smart. If Directed knows the fight's not going to go down, Directed camera will not watch the fight.
It will not indeed. And now FakeGod getting very close. Oh, Sligo getting aggressed upon a little bit. But FakeGod, now level 6, does have access to that Cannon Barrage, so can help as this Infernal Dragon, which has been sitting a couple times. People have looked over to potentially start it up.
Yeah.
But without level 6 on Prismal, without that bullet time available, without the depth charge from Breezy available to start looking for these big picks, neither team has been willing to start it up, and I think it's only getting more difficult now that the global presence of the teleport and the Cannon Barrage are available for both sides of the map. So, gonna be pausing out. I think we're gonna be waiting for ultimates. As soon as I say that, they're actually hitting the dragon, and now TSM gonna have to try and answer this early push.
Contrax is level 4. What is this? Everybody else is level 6. That's wild that they were able to get that without any pressure coming to them. They played it perfectly. Being level 4 to a level 6 jungler who's on the other side of the map, not able to get it. Really well played by 100 Thieves to sneak that one out from none of the nose of TSM. The TSM still has a bit of wave control on top and bottom lane. We've seen this lane going here to Dokla quite a bit, 62 to 50, now being harassed under the turret. I was saying it's FakeGod that was trying to push in the wave before, but Dokla seems to have the control and the wave where he wants it.
Yeah, it's tough. FakeGod having to burn through all these potions in order to keep himself topped off. He needs mana to use with Oranges, whereas Dokla just walks into the wave, presses Q, and pulls a lot of meekness, and just going to continue pushing things under the turret. He's not a champion that has like the Tiamat or the Sunfire Cape, which can end up drawing turret aggro for free, and he's just very happy to sit there and trade back and forth with FakeGod with all this coming through. We'll see what he comes back with. The Bilgewater Cutlass and boots are completed. That's going to make it much more difficult for FakeGod to walk away with that extra like point and click slow that Dokla will have available to him.
Yeah, that gets tougher, especially everything damaging that FakeGod wants to do. So much more of that taken away. Ninja Tabi's on his side as well, though, for FakeGod, so he'll be able to stay in that fight a little bit longer, but that fight is still under his turret. 2.5 plates left for Dokla. He is making quick work of that. It's like a hot knife through butter, and it looks like Breezy gets a good hook. Oh, the double up just hitting when the unbreakable finishes. Possibly a follow-up. A few orbs on the ground, but not enough to zero out Saligo, even with Command Protect now coming up. He saves himself.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. Again, this is part of why we were looking at, or I was talking about why you might go for Ignite over Teleport, right? Is that that's definitely a fight that could have turned into a kill if he had a little bit of extra damage. But instead, with the Teleport, going to be going for lane dominance in a different way. And the Rift Herald crashing into the top lane, going to get them a couple of plates, but shouldn't actually fill up the, actually take down the turret just quite yet. And now, Evolved, moving towards the top half of the map. Saligo is going to be backing away, but does have the teleport if they want to rejoin.
No ult for Evolve, but they do have to be careful about the amount of pressure they're bringing up in just champion numbers. Seems like TSM also respects what's going on in the fog of war on the side of 100 Thieves. Mid lanes are missing at this point, so Saligo could be coming around the corner with that teleport up. He's going to have an easy walk back to that mid lane. And we'll see what contracts can continue to farm. Still a level behind here, but still able to have impact in the fight if he finds it. And you can see countered a bit Only gets one of his chicken tendies there.
Yeah, it's true. Treats is also, I mean, whenever he throws up the Unbreakable and the bullet time's not coming across, I always just have to hold my breath a little bit. That's the kind of thing where you can punish the lack of that cooldown very quickly. Dokla just going in and getting some decent damage before sliding right back on out, but everybody level 6 down in the bottom lane could be very explosive between these two, but Brahms is so good at dealing with Misfortune. Unbreakable stops a lot of damage, but it doesn't help you against the wrong person.
So quick on the ultimate too, and there it is. You're correct. The shield drops. The Glacial Fissure was used, and they had no protection against the MF ultimate. Here comes the finisher from Contracts, who's been lurching around all game, trying to find it. Long-time lurker, first-time ganker. Contracts comes in, and he gets himself a nice kill there, followed up with the shockwave coming in. You don't want a TP here. It's going to be the TP coming in around Spica's flag. Sorry, Spica now almost goes down himself. That's going to be a triple kill coming in for the Jarvan. And Spica feels good. Maybe they did want to teleport on that flag. The heated up turret was aggro enough to take down 100 Thieves.
Yeah, huge disaster coming out for TSM as, excuse me, huge disaster for 100 Thieves as they lose almost everything. That dive, it looked good at the beginning. They were trying to find the extra couple of kills, but they end up giving over so much more in return. And now it's ballooning to like a 3,000 gold lead. Dokla still hasn't picked up his top lane turret, wasn't able to contribute anything to that fight, but oh my gosh, giving over so much gold. 4-0-1 now this Spica. But the question is he going to be like Insanity? Is he going to be able to find these big ultimates to help his team? Or is he going to eventually let somebody else? I mean, Contracts, we've seen the set show a couple times today, and he's definitely a player who, now that he's got a couple kills under his belt, could do just that.
Ooh, building up some chuck rooms if he can get it. Contracts, however, diving right into the fight, and it looks like he's instantly going to go down. Just throws his forehead into the wall on that one, but same on the other side. It's a 1-for-1 as two members have gone down, one on either side. Treats now could take the double up for death, but he gets himself to safety as it just follows him along with his flash. A lot is being used in these fights, and they are instantly starting again. I wonder if Contracts just wants to keep rinse and repeat these fights to make sure he's relevant in the game.
Yeah, it would make sense. He is going for a Cinderhulk kind of build, which will make him very tanky, but give up a little bit of damage. He's relying on the bases that he has. On the other side of the map, though, it is important to remember that Dokla has just picked up the last plates on the top lane, and now Fake God going to be throwing out the Cannon Barrage. Smite goes over. And wow, so Evolve.
Oh my word.
Actually going to live.
He lived. There's no way. He lived. Oh my word. Saligo is now trying to get himself to safety. Both mid laners have almost the exact HP right now as they get out of this situation alive. And what a mirrored game on a few of these fights here. 1-for-1 in the last fight. Almost dead mid laners on this fight. And summoners are being expended each time in the lanes that they're up in. So if you have summoners this game, expect them to be blown very quick.
Yeah, here we go. Spica also pushing everybody away, which is going to be giving his bottom lane. His Lost and Treats are going to be hammering away at this turret, picking up some plate gold for themselves. And now, again, it's about a 3,000 gold lead, but it is slowly ballooning as TSM is coming out slightly ahead every single time, getting the team fights wins, and also picking up a little bit of gold on the backside. His Contracts, you can try, but this man is a very scary crocodile.
Dokla has 3 full plates to his entire name, and he just almost zeroed out Contracts, I should say. The follow-up damage wasn't there, and Evolved and Dokla just miss out on a kill. A nice shield, though, by Saligo. You got to give him to him on that.
Yeah, unfortunately missing the shockwave, not going to be able to turn things around, but at the same time, just keeping your teammates alive to 9 gold is still a worthwhile endeavor. Spica coming down to the bottom lane, potentially looking at another fight where the ultimates for TSM are available. There they go.
That's what 4-0-1 looks like. Remember what I said about the summoner spells. You want to have them up in this game or they're getting blown right away, and that would have been a flash out if Prismal had it, but both go down in a flash.
Yeah, without a whole lot of defensive tools available, it is going to be another couple of kills on TSM, looking to start running away with this game as they are now going to be hitting on this turret. No more plates to pick up, but still first turret's also gone, so it's just regular turret gold coming out for these guys.
Yeah, Dokla's been absurd. 5 plates to his name. He took 2.5 down up top, and then he got a bit of help from the Rift Herald, maybe even finished off that turret by himself. Can't fully remember, but then we just saw him take 3 plates in mid, so 5.5, if you will, and he has 20 seconds to do more. Can he do it? No, he can't. It's a bot lane. Too far away.
Wants to do what he can, see if he can find anybody whatsoever. We have another Herald coming up fairly soon, and he does have his teleport available right as all of the members of TSM are really coming to their big level power spikes. But gotta be careful. Contracts just waiting in the wings with Brazy. This is a lot of crowd control between these two guys. Did they get spotted out? They have an inkling. They have some idea.
Oh, you can't do much against the dredge line. You will get brought in even if you scatter Breezy out. Could be a fight here from Spica. It looks like he's going to try to exit this one as well. He takes an Ignite with him. Will he be able to catch it? Nice Winter's Bite over the wall. Spica activates Q for a bit of movement speed as now they find Lost in the top side. Severum and Infernum, not something that they want to fight right away. Moonlight Vigil is almost up for him as he throws down a bit of the damage. And yeah, Lost coming into this fight really turned the tables for the team as they were able to gather in River.
Yeah, Fate God kind of left behind as Dokla is the one who goes in. Still a huge crocodile at this point as he starts to move around. And he finds a flank and able to get a big kill and potentially find more later on. But Spica is going to be living so many resources burned in order to pick up the 1 kill on Evolved, who goes from 0, 0, 0 to 0, 1, and 1 on the board. And ultimately, TSM still very happy with that trade because not only do they get the kill back, but they get the objective right on after, and even a little bit of damage on some of these objectives as the minions are going to crash as well. So again, 6,000 gold lead for TSM. Dokla, he might actually be able to 1v2, but I don't think he'd be able to 1v3, so he should probably leave. There he goes. Slicing and dicing right on out.
He's going to wait for a few minions to come back in. He knows he has protection at least there. And now looking at what TSM can do with this Rift Herald. They actually picked up the second one quite early. We have 3.5 minutes to Baron. So time to hold on this. Push 100 Thieves all the way back with maybe a double Rift Herald or a final break mid as you move the line forward of wards. It becomes a little bit easier to tempt the opposing team for a Baron. So TSM, a lot of windows to work with here. 30 seconds coming up on the Ocean, and Ocean changes the Rift this time. We have actually had a unique Drake for all of our games today, which has been nice. Oh no, Cloud twice, as I just forget what last games we were in.
Games 1 and 2 were mirrored too, right? They had the
almost until the soul. That was pretty crazy.
But here we go. This is potentially a big fight again. Spica is going to be looking very strong here, going to the fight 4-0-4, but he's got looks like the building pieces of a Knight's Vow, so not necessarily going to be doing the damage on his own, instead going to be letting the rest of the damage dealers really pick up for him, and instead just being a very scary front line. But both teams are all here. Fake God has a teleport and the Cannon Barrage to potentially participate, so I'm kind of expecting one of these teams to try and find a fight before the Dragon actually really gets started up, and they have the Rift Herald as well if they just want to drop it.
Interesting. Pings toward mid, at least 2 assists or 3 assists toward mid. Dokla was trying to come down towards that, maybe for a pinch, but it looks like he's going to get caught out. Ocean Drake going over to TSM. It's usually a little backwards with the way TSM would play a Drake. They're okay giving some up and then kind of getting the map for it, but I think this one just works out anyways. 100 Thieves get themselves a kill. TSM get a Drake.
They use 4 ultimates to pick that up, though, in exchange for a kill and Dokla's flash. And so now, you know, they lose the Ocean Dragon, and they're also going to be losing this mid lane turret. They might lose more of their jungle, which is, you know, a little bit of secondary nickel and diming that comes along at the same time. But I think TSM's also going to have an opportunity to crash this Rift Herald into the second turret, which is always really nice with so many members here. Or they're going to go for a dive.
And these are the ultimates you want to be getting out. Remember, we only have a minute and a half until we get to that Baron fight, so if these ults are down and TSM can just wear out 100 Thieves a little bit, you might be able to get them in a good position to keep that objective in your favor. Ooh, lost. You should be safe here. Oh, the Chakrams already stacked up, can go up to 20 and will refresh every time you hit that large monster or champion, and he was hitting right off of Breezy. So, keeping them Chakrams up, and he was doing quite a bit of damage. He'll back. Smear it. Just don't smear stuff on your face, Felios. That's not good. No, I'm just kidding.
Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful right
now. Yeah, right. Spica gets himself out here as Breezy and the rest of the team will now recoup, bolster themselves up, and they'll try to get back out on the Rift to do some damage here. 9-5, and they're looking at a 5,000 gold lead. Really, we talked about what the top of the map can do in terms of top laners and junglers. And that's really what's been deciding the game. Now we break into fights, and Lost starts to get his hand in the pie.
Yeah, we'll see how effective he can really be. We saw those chakrams really coming through and really blowing through the damage or the health of both Prismal and Breezy. We'll see how effective it can be later on, because it ultimately depends on which guns he has available to him. What can he actually do with it? Right now he's got the rifle and the scythe pistol, so he's going to have a lot of opportunity to keep himself alive and stay at range, but not necessarily going to have the highest DPS in a lot of these team fights. So not going to be nearly as weird, but overall TSM still very happy with the game state. Contracts fighting Treats.
Oh, there he goes. Treats goes back, start delivering some sweets to the rest of the team in that Braum skin. And it looks like nobody on 100 Thieves has a sweet tooth at the moment. They really don't do too much damage. Contracts only takes a scratch that he'll have back quite quickly. And now again, we'll tempt the fight back and forth. Look at the completed items here. Looks like it's going to be the Leandries coming in for Sligo as he looks for a secondary item. Just got his Merc Treads actually to sustain through what could be coming in that Unleashed power. They may be able to catch here. Again, Contracts. Stopwatch goes down from Speak. A teleport comes in. It could be Dokla or Evolved coming into the fight, and it is going to be Evolved. And Moonlight Vigil Inferno comes out, spreading a bit of damage off 100 Thieves. And now they have to be a bit wary. Dokla getting in with the Blade of the Rune King active. I was surprised that didn't kill Breezy, but it was a quick swipe after to take him down.
Yeah, lots of abilities being used once again. 100 Thieves committing so much onto individual members. They used 3 ultimates to try and take down Treats previously, and unfortunately weren't able to find the fight. And TSM, with just more big buttons available to them, were able to carry the fight. And if this keeps on happening, if 100 Thieves keeps trading 4 ultimates for 1 person, it's not going to be all that great as we start getting more and more into the team fighting phase of the game. Another Ocean Dragon is spawning in a minute and a half. Baron's been on the table for just as long, and as these fights start to go, TSM can just start running over because they're going to start grouping more and more. Dokla and Evolved are going to be with the team. Treats caught out, like, he has his Gargoyle Stoneplate at this point. It's going to take him a lot of damage to really just bring him down, and TSM, again, pushing the momentum. Very happy to always take the +1. It's not just the kill, it's the kill and. It's the kill and. What else are you getting?
Yeah, they have the map set up so well, it becomes something that just falls into their lap, right? Right after they get the fight, that turret's in front of them. We saw use Rift Herald, and they were able to kind of capitalize a little bit on that second tier as well. They're just slowly working. That one's prepped up to be taken down. Top and bottom are pretty healthy 400 Thieves, and a teleport in from Dokla might have been an oopsla. He can get himself to safety on this one, and as he fixes that mistake right quick.
Yeah, doesn't even have to blow his flash. Doesn't even have the flash available. Does just use a Dominus. So, going to be all right. It would be nice to have that cooldown available, but ooh, Contracts and Sligo are getting caught out a little bit.
Oh, I don't think he was looking, right? Like, he gets out of that, but that's one of those times where your screen flashes and you're like, wait a minute, I'm getting hit. Where are they? It's interesting how much fog of war TSM has to work with, though. They're creeping right in. Right after a fight, again, they're in. That's where Dokla basically just Dokla basically TP'd, so 100 Thieves is getting scattered quick. Here now we can see them going back in, trying to clean up that vision game a little bit. So these instances of just TSM showing up in the brush do not happen. Going at soul point here for this Drake. They're going to lock themselves in 3. 2 Ocean Drakes and 1 Cloud for TSM.
Yeah, it's getting a bit scary for 100 Thieves. They did have to give that one up once again, still down 5,000 gold. They're just trying to get the vision back, as you were touching on. And the big thing is that now they have 2 major objectives. TSM should be happy to trade. Like, if you take the Baron, I'll go ahead and take the Ocean Soul, because the permanent buff that does provide is huge. It forces everybody on 100 Thieves to build that Grievous Wounds in order to just return to some semblance of parity to what the team fighting pressure was previously. And now you see TSM, you got the Gargoyle Stoneplate on Spica, you got Dokla already with the Blade of the Ruined King. You see 2 items coming through on Lost, including a Vampiric Scepter on top of that. So it already takes 100 Thieves a long time to kill this team, and it's going to get worse and worse if they give up that Ocean Dragon. So expect a lot of pressure from 100 Thieves to try and lock that down without giving up this objective for free. But they need to be proactive for potentially the first time this game.
All right, Blade of the Rune King used there as Fake God starts getting a few of his parlays on to Dokla. And it looks like they'll just start cleaning up whatever resources they can. Late game Orianna is actually one of my favorite champions, how she can absolutely be a ballerina and dance around with a blue buff on. and may not be able to chunk through the HP bars of what's going to happen here from TSM, and we'll find out right now. Oh, the hook actually misses because of the showstopper. It might have been a bit of a miscommunication there for 100 Thieves, and now they're getting pushed back into their base. TSM groups up a bit too much, and they're not able to finalize their kills, playing with their food a bit too much, and now 100 Thieves tries to answer back as they finally lose Fake God. What a fight to only lose one so far for everything that happened.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we saw there was Lost ended up having to use both of his summoners. He ended up getting a little bit too close to Contracts and took a lot of his HP, so he wasn't able to contribute as much as he was hoping to overall. But now, he's still alive. He's got the Scythe Pistol, the Severum is there. He's going to be doing a lot of damage to this objective. But his teammates are a little bit low, and 100 Thieves is just waiting in the wings. I'm expecting to see a second fight.
Could be an all or nothing. Just a bit of cooldown on the Shockwave. This is a perfect spot for it as Baron gets lower and lower and the damage stops for the moment. No, it's going to be Spica trying to keep that damage up. Remember, your damage is reduced if you're the one attacking Baron, so he's really just trying to keep it on that HP. They all go into the fight, and Dokla goes down first. He actually does not have Dominance to go off, and that's been huge for TSM to have the extra HP, the extra chaos, and now Treats is chased out, and they are going to be able to bust a cookie up on this one as he falls to the hands of Fake God.
Yeah, a little bit too much coming out from TSM. They thought they had an opportunity, but they waited long enough that everybody was able to teleport right back on in. And now they're going to be losing a turret for their troubles. But ultimately, the game is still pretty significantly in TSM's favor. They are on Ocean Point. They have an opportunity to go back to the Baron after everybody comes on in. And they can kind of chalk that one up to a little bit of execution failure. They need a little bit more vision. They needed a little bit more health on their front line in order to actually get the fight started. And now, Spica just going to let him back away. Probably the smart thing, even though he is 4-0-6. Contracts still playing the set, still going to be winning the long fights every single time between these two.
Right, and looking at what Spica was able to do to this game, he basically made it a bot diff game, right? He went down there so much. Both Prismal and Breezy are 0-3-7 as the game has moved on. They haven't been able to get the items that finalize their kills. They haven't been able to find the right people in the fight. It's just these activations that are happening. I'm not sure if they can bust through that Dokla, that Spica that have been on the front line. Because we even saw Dokla go in by himself last time, but everybody was a little disjointed. Prismal has to be careful there, and Breezy has to protect him. So participating a bit more, getting some cash flow into Prismal is going to be huge.
And this is why I like to see 100 Thieves first to the punch.
They could get it right here, but look at that. He's got so much tank to shoot through. He's scratching the back of Spica. Oh no, the bullet time out to the right side. It's not going to do enough damage. Prismal close to going down. He's at 200 HP right now. Activates W, resets himself, and gets the safety. And man, the chaos again, Joshi, in these fights for no one to go down is incredible.
Yeah, and there's 30 seconds left on the Ocean Dragon, so people are going to get to reset, and we're going to see it again, except this time without ultimates, and that's going to be pretty big. No Unleashed Power, no Cataclysm, no Bullet Time. You're just going to be relying on the base power of all of your champions, and the big exception to this right now, we're going to be looking at Lost. He didn't really participate in that fight, but now he has a Bloodthirster completed, coming out, and he's still got the Moonlit Vigil as multiple members of 100 Thieves. Again, this is what we like. They are first to the punch. They are first here to be involved, but they get spotted out by the flag. And oh, there's the drag. He actually goes in a little bit before his team can show up.
Feels like he can take an initial burst, and he was correct in thinking so. Fake God is now found out by Treats as they start going back and forth. Soul is up for TSM. I can't see 100 Thieves giving this one up. They put a pink board down inside as well. Remember, the brush in the back side needs to be covered. It looks like somebody may be going to ward there right now. And there is one up for Dokla as he throws it in.
Yeah, people are waiting for their ultimates, it looks like. Bullet time is almost available, so Ligo does have the Shockwave, but Dokla on the backside does get spotted. Are they going to collapse on him? No, they're just going to let the rest of TSM run in, and now they have control of the pit.
Been pulled out, yeah, especially with control and a pink ward in the brush created by the Ocean taking over the rift. It's 100 Thieves has been basically suffocated out of the vision. Oh, to the back line, a double Cataclysm, a Soligo, a Prismal, and they're basically arms in the air looking for help from the team. Their Contracts finally gets in there to help, but Lost able to deliver out the damage as the marksman. Spica answers with one as well, and 100 Thieves are just getting torn apart by TSM.
Beautiful patience coming out from TSM to wait, to know that they can give the little bit of extra time to pick up all of their ultimates. The Cataclysm locks them all down, and Prismal, his flash is just now coming up. If they had waited about 10-15 more seconds, that fight could have gone very, very differently. But with the big lead they have, the Ocean Soul, they're going to be regenerating a ton, and they turn their attention to the Baron. So it's not just a team fight win, it's not just an Ocean Soul. This is catastrophic for 100 Thieves, and Dokla doesn't even need to come over.
Cataclysmic, if you will.
Ooh, the good one.
Oh my word. 5-0 and 9. 500 bounty. 700. There's 1,200. 1,450 across the team at TSM right now as you look at those members. And what? Spica, what is this game? It's been amazing. That ultimate there, capturing both Siligo and Prismal, other ultimates, checking out everybody with just a single flag to start off and dragging in to tempt them into a fight. He is playing with the utmost confidence right now.
Yeah, it definitely felt like coming from the side of 100 Thieves, they were looking at him and saying, "You won't do it. You won't just ult us, will you?" And he's like, yeah, here we go. Fight's starting right now." And it was perfect. You saw Dokla take a little bit of extra time to jump in because I don't think his slice or dice was available. But once he did, there was not enough HP left in 100 Thieves to stand up. And looks like TSM is well on their way to potentially closing this out. They have 2 major buffs underneath their belts. They're looking to push in, and they have an opportunity to take things down. They can do that again. They have so many good dive tools that it's very difficult for 100 Thieves to even try and defend these turrets.
Heal on Prismal, Ignite on Breezy, the only things you are waiting for. I'm sorry, Flash as well on Siligo to come up on the side of 100 Thieves. A bit more, just mostly teleports on the side of TSM with Reese's exhaust. So a lot is going to be up here for this next fight. All those kill potential abilities almost ready and raring to go. Top side getting taken down as Dokla slowly moves in, adding that power towards the top side of the map. Bottom is really the only one that hasn't been brought up yet. Nothing that TSM has to worry about with Baron in 2 lanes right now.
Yeah, it's definitely something that TSM, I mean, it will slowly push for TSM. So by the time, oh man, they just go. He's gone.
Siligo too close for comfort, and where is too close? It seems like anywhere. Apparently in this game versus TSM. Now 32 minutes in, they're inside the base of 100 Thieves and starting to tear it apart along with the members that stand there. Another turret taken down by Evolved as Lost grabs another kill for himself at 6-2 and 7. The bounties grow, and it looks like you'd think TSM sees bounties on 100 Thieves with the fights they're taking to them right now. Another one picked up onto Contracts as he does what he can on the jungle set this game.
Yeah, it's tough. He doesn't have a big opportunity to do anything, but now with these turrets going down, TSM should be looking to end the game and get one step closer to that playoff final.
Absolutely. Now moving themselves to 10 and 7 with another kill, a Nexus turret, and the Nexus to follow. Let's see if we can figure out who takes it down. Gets that 50 gold in pocket. Oh, they're waiting. They're waiting for the KDAs. They want more than 50 gold. Moonlight Vigil goes out with the Infernum. Siligo standing far enough back. He's got Calibrium, but it won't reach the back of it. And the autos come out. I can't see. I couldn't see.
Ooh, it's lost.
It was lost. I did on the top right. 50 gold in that pocket.
And if you just need a little bit more gold to finish your item, just last hit the Nexus. It gets you 50 right there. He's just doing his job. It's exactly what we like to see. But TSM, we were saying they will have no troubles trying to end the game just going for this dive. And I didn't even realize this, but it looks like Dokla wasn't there towards the end. He was chasing Prismal around the map. And that seems a little bit tough for him to actually pull off with all the extra movement speed. But hey, it doesn't matter where your top laner is as long as the enemy Nexus explodes. And congratulations to TSM, as you said, moving to 10 and 7 and finishing up our 4th game of the day, leaving us with what is, in my opinion, today's highlight match. Cloud9 versus Evil Geniuses, number 1 and number 2, also looking for an opportunity to lock themselves in for that playoff bye.
It's going to be an exciting game to check out, and we're going to have it just coming up after this break. So there is that one more game, Cloud9 versus Evil Geniuses. Do not go anywhere. Joshi and Rave, we're going to be back in just a few minutes to deliver you that final game.